You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now, or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAC Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode. Hello!
Oh!
Welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 54.
There you go. I just told you.
54. We did it.
Hello there.
We made it this far, and
Made it all the way to 54.
yep, we did. And here we are.
Bang.
Well,
What day is it? God, what
God,
day is it?
it is Monday.
Monday. I'm not picking
Oh.
my nose, I promise. I'm not Nick Fuentes.
Monday, March 14th.
Oh, I thought they were calling.
No, it's no. Strange that they haven't. Strange that they haven't.
Man, isn't that just
just weird.
weird?
Yeah. It is
God, dude,
Monday, March 14th at 10 o'clock. Oh.
The green?
Hold on.
Hell
I
yeah.
just accidentally pressed the button on my iPad, so now it's restarting.
Oh, great.
And you'll be hearing this on Friday, March 18th,
You know what that means.
Pi Day.
Is it? No, that's...
Today,
No, tomorrow. No, it is today.
it's St. Louis Day.
Happy Die Gay.
We made it.
Happy Die Gay is what I just said.
Yeah, we made it this
Didn't
far.
mean to say that.
We made it to 3.14159.265.
That means that Christopher Columbus and John Wilkes Booth died today.
John Stamos.
Yeah, died.
No, he didn't though.
No, he didn't. Sadly. I'm kidding.
How many people can we eliminate from the full family house?
How many people are in the house?
How many
Can we
people
get a
can
head
we?
count?
Yeah, how many people can we eliminate from the Full House family? Fuck.
I hope Mary Kate and Ashley go next.
Mary,
Kate,
Kate, and Ashley.
and Ashley.
Yeah, the third twin.
The third of them.
Uh-huh.
The third man out. How you doing, guy?
Better. For now.
Are you being the best person?
I am being the best person I can be.
Let's talk about your shirts for a minute. So, the first shirt you got from this company was from me, correct? Or is this different?
No,
guy?
different guy.
Oh, different person.
This is Good Shirts. The other person was Luca International.
You told me about good shirts, and you showed me a shirt.
I think I showed you a couple shirts. I showed you this one and another one, but there was another one that was like Alcoholics Anonymous, and it was the New York Mets hat.
Yeah.
Alcoholics
Because
Anonymous.
wait, was that the guy who had the Yankees hat that said? Or no, L.A. is Live, Laugh,
Yeah,
Love.
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That was
yeah,
the same
yep,
person.
yep,
okay,
same person,
Okay,
yep.
then I know
Yep,
exactly.
this is where I got it from.
What size is it?
This is a large.
Kind of big on you.
I liked it. I wanted it large.
No, it doesn't look bad. I'm just saying it's
I
bigger
wanted
than other shirts I've
Yeah,
seen.
I wanted it large. I wanted
Planning
these.
on beefing up?
No, it's future proofing it, in my opinion.
What?
Because I have some like medium shirts that have like
Shrunk?
shrunk really bad. Like
You
there's
dry
some,
all your shirts?
Yeah, I do.
That's
There were a couple like polos that I have that are really short now, and obviously I'm aging, but
Billy shirt.
I just didn't like. I wanted to future proof it that if this started to fade or
Or shrink.
shrink, then it's like okay, then it'll go down to a size medium. Whereas if
green?
it goes from a medium to a small.
Yeah.
So there are some of my green shirts. Speaking of the green,
The green.
that have just been really freaking small and it's terrible to
Really?
wear. It
tight or short?
tight and short. No,
Mm.
yeah, and then, like they're tight around my arms. Like they'll
I
be
get
like
that
this.
too.
They'll be like this, like where my armpit hair is showing as I lift up my arm.
Oh.
And it's kind of annoying because
So tight this way, but
Yeah.
not this way.
yeah,
Okay, I get the tight this way.
No, I get the tight like in
I
the
got
shoulder.
such big muscles.
And then there's like a couple polos that have that ride really high on my
Really?
waist. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't stand.
they almost look like cutoffs. I
Oh,
could
that's
I
fun.
could make like a 3/4 like
Yeah,
shirt.
my least favorite is I get a lot of my shirts tight through here because I got
Yeah.
big muscles.
You got big boobs,
I got tight through here.
Big
and tight
tits.
through here.
big
If I
man
get tight
tits.
through here, if I get tight through here, the shirt's gone. In the trash.
It-
Could be worth.
I don't-
Could be worth upwards of $100.
I'm not selling it either.
Trash.
You know,
Trash.
not selling it.
But I am putting on. I have been packing on the pounds to say the least. Even though I'm still working out and eating decently, but I think I can contribute that to medication.
Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah.
It seems to
agree.
be. Hopefully, I can get off that soon. Dr. Schmorkson.
Schwartzberger.
Dr. Schwartzberger. So, my shirts are not fitting the best that they once did, which sucks.
Well, the thing is that there's sometimes where I like look like I'm holding water.
Sorry, I can't pause it. Okay.
I like look like I'm holding water, but like in my face in the summer, I looked like I was just puffy.
Oh, you bloat?
Yeah, I look bloated in a few of the
Yeah, my
photos.
head is big right now. Like my head has gotten significantly bigger. I don't know, like this.
You're like,
this is huge.
You're
right
like
now.
Barry Bonds. His head just got bigger.
Well, yeah, but a lot of those people.
You're on trend, right? You're on gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you're alcoholics, their heads blowed up, so they call it. What do they call it? They call that something. I don't know, but you just like your head gets really big
Right.
when you become an alcoholic.
Wait.
Not that I am. I'm just saying.
Wait, your head gets big? Like which
Yeah.
head?
Pains.
Oh,
You pains head.
your penis head.
You painless head, you bloke. Well, I'm glad you're doing good.
I'm a mug-blooded American, Carson.
You're a muggle?
I'm a mug-blooded American.
What does that mean?
Do you need me to play the song?
I guess so. You're throwing me for a loop. I didn't prepare for this.
I'm a mug-blooded American, yeah, here is freedom of the games with no
That.
What is that from? I don't know where that's from.
I don't know what it's from.
How'd you find it?
TikTok.
Of course. That's how I miss out on everything these days because I'm not on TikTok.
Bang.
Quick little aside, just before we lose
Quick little
everybody.
side piece.
Quick little side piece that I brought in today. Come on in, Charnice. Quick little side note here.
Come on, Zoe Kravitz.
Before we Zoe Lenny Krav.
Are you gonna go my way?
Quick little side note of something that hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm gonna tease it just in case it does happen.
Stop.
We'll tease it
Stop,
more on the
don't
post
tease me.
if we get confirmed. But
Don't tease me like that.
potential very cool guest,
Very
Next week.
influential.
very influential guest.
Yeah.
His name is Jake Paul. No, possibly very, very cool and fun, exciting guest that we've talked about on the show. Could be on next week. Nothing has been confirmed, but either way, I think he will be on soon if it's not next week. So sorry if I say this and then you're like, wait a minute. We'll mention it next week if we don't have it, but it's looking promising. But we'll see. Just wanted to throw that out there before everybody tunes out because they're like, oh, not this again. Gavin, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for asking me.
I was gonna ask you anyway. What have you been up to? I haven't talked to you at all.
We really haven't talked much.
Because I mean, frankly, you just kind of suck. But you know.
Yeah, and we did get in a fight.
Again.
Again.
We've had a couple domestic disputes
Yes.
over
police.
the property lines in our apartment.
We're disputing property lines at the moment.
Yeah. I cannot stand the fact that you want the washer and the dryer.
Well, I keep sending you those texts to ask if you own the property on Cheshire Lane and see if I can buy it.
Well, the thing
you
is
get those
that
texts too?
yeah, I get those.
I get 'em all. I get people. Go on. Keep saying what you're gonna say.
I wouldn't say I own. I mean, I'm the one that texts you all those. I own the Cheshire Lane.
So is this you? Tell me if this is you.
Okay.
This is a voicemail I got a couple days ago. Come on.
You have to press the.
What the F?
You-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do.
Okay.
on my phone. Damn it. I can't get it to restart. There we go. Okay, here we go. Come on. What the fuck?
Hi, my name is Anthony. I tried to call you a few weeks ago about a property that you might be interested in selling. I know this could be a wrong number, and I apologize if it is, but I thought I'd reach out one more time to see if you might be interested in selling the property. We're looking to buy another house in this area, and just thought we'd reach out here real quick. Again, if you have no interest in selling, you don't have to call me back, but we thought we'd try to get a hold of you regarding to see if you had any interest at all.
Why don't you
in
give him a call
actually
right now?
selling the property. Basically, we're just looking to buy it as is. We'll pay all the closing costs, and we're looking to buy within the next month or so.
So that goes on for like another 30 seconds. But the thing that I picked up on immediately is that he never mentions where the property is.
No.
He just keeps saying the property.
Well, you know the property that you own.
Or if you have any other property in the area. What are you talking about?
He called you again, right?
Apparently he called me twice.
Sorry we missed your call. If you were calling about a property, please leave your name, phone number,
Oh shit, what just happened?
address of the property you were calling about, and we will call you back as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hi, yes. I got a voicemail from a young man named Anthony who was calling me about a property that I wanted to sell. He was very specific on saying property. I just wanted to call to say I don't own any property, and really would appreciate it if you guys would, stop calling me about a property. And whatever scam you guys are running, why don't you just kind of, just stop it. So, anyways, tell Anthony to go, fuck himself, and thank you so much. So
that was live on air. Live, he just did that voicemail.
live on Saturday night. Hopefully Anthony won't call me again
That should do him in, I think.
about the property. Calling about the property. See if you wanted to sell the
You're gonna get hunted down. Someone's gonna find you.
Anybody named Anthony, I can beat the fuck out of.
Hands down. Careful.
Jesus Christ, dude. He almost made me knock down my precious artifacts and trinkets.
The gimp mask.
Yeah. That's the noise I wanted to hear. Fuck. You were talking about something? We brought
No.
up property
Yeah.
lines. But I was gonna ask you about something. I don't know. I'm doing good. I've been
Just kidding.
What have I been up to? Working, really? I don't think there's anything special.
Working hard or hardly working?
I've been working hard.
Yeah. I bet.
Had a lot going on. Had a wedding over the weekend. Man, it was butt cold.
Did you shoot at it?
I shot right at it.
Yeah.
I told Andrew I was a wedding sniper today. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm busy. I don't know. I really don't have anything very exciting. I mean, everything.
Everything's exciting to you.
Well, really,
I-
everything
yeah.
that's going on is exciting, but it's
Yeah.
just a lot of things I can't talk about, and a lot of things that
I think you should get your shit together.
would just be boring to.
You should get your shit together,
Talk about.
Carson.
My shit is together. I just put it in the toilet earlier.
Oh, okay, good. Good. Glad to hear it.
But let's, enough about us. Let's talk more about us.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We went and saw a film today. You, me, Spencer, and
Andy
Andrew.
B.
And Andy B. BBQ. Andy BBQ. We all went and saw a fantastic film.
Fantastic
called-
little ditty.
Fantastic
Little
cinema.
film.
We went to the
Little bit
cinema.
at the cinema.
We went to the cinema. Saw ourselves a film. And what did we see? Webbed Fingers?
Batman.
The Batman. With
The
Zoe
Batman.
with Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Kravitz. Sorry. Someone's at the door.
Let's get someone needs to get in.
And
It's Anthony. What are you searching for? And Robert Downey Jr.
Who else did they have? There's one other guy.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr., Robert Pattinson, Lenny Kravitz, Zoe Kravitz. They all the Roberts. Brad Pitt was in it.
There was the guy who played the Riddle was
He-
played by an actor whose name I can't remember for the life of me. He was really good.
He looked like the guy from The Office, but it's not the guy from The Office.
Which guy from The Office?
Little Tuna, I think.
Mark Prosh?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know
Mark
who you're
Probst.
talking
Yeah.
He did look like a lot like Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm serious. Look up a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer. Do the comparison. Hit up Google and see what's up. I mean exactly what I meant.
I don't like them putting chemicals.
See, now yours is quiet again. God damn it, dude.
See?
We got to figure this out.
I told you. That's why.
Let's call
I
Anthony
don't
back.
like 'em.
So we went and saw the Batman, and you and I both saved our comments to ourselves for this
Yeah.
very moment.
For this
'Cause
really.
we literally just saw it a couple hours ago.
Yeah. We got out of
literally-
it. We
we
started
just walked
got
out
into
of
the
the
theater
theater.
at like 3:15, and then got out of it by 6:15.
Man, that was a long film.
So it is a long movie. If you haven't seen it yet, if you haven't heard about it, it is a long movie.
And if you haven't seen it from this point on, we will be saying spoilers.
Yeah. Spoiler alert right here. Right here. Spoiler alert right here. This is spoiler time. We're about to start talking about spoilers. Please do not get mad at me. Okay? Please?
And if you get mad about people spoiling things, you can kind of just go fuck
yeah,
yourself,
go off,
to be
get off the
honest.
internet. Go hang out somewhere else.
I hate
All right?
people.
I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing about it.
You can spoil whatever you want to me, and I will never give a shit about it. If I don't want to hear spoilers, then I'll just, fuck off. And
I'll go fuck myself, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But-
So I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I am glad that it wasn't a Marvel movie,
Thank
because
God.
this, in my opinion, this is how superhero movies should be done. This is, and because
And what do you mean by that?
I'm
And what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
what I mean by that is that it's like the Marvel movies. That one of my, as cool as it is to see a whole bunch of characters appear in multiple movies, it's kind of like if you don't watch all the movies and you don't know who the fuck is talking. You know,
Yeah.
like who is this person? Oh, that guy. That superhero X is in superhero Y's movie. That's also in superhero Z's movie.
Yeah.
And superhero A is also gonna be in this movie. I heard in the next 20 years. You know, like I don't give a fuck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It kind of got old. It got really old after a while. I don't want to watch any more of the Marvel movies. I want to watch more of the dark and gritty Batman. Like I want to watch more movies like that where it's a standalone movie where it has
Nirvana songs.
Yeah, something's in my ass. It just, I'm glad that this movie is. It might be a duo, a trio.
Those.
Yeah,
Those
there might be
those.
2 movies or 3 movies. I don't know, but
Has
I
that been
would.
talked about?
I don't know, but I would prefer if it stayed there. I don't need
Yeah.
it. I don't need it to be in a whole
Star Wars.
I don't.
Well,
Yeah. Well.
Star Wars is trio too.
Yeah. I trilogy. I mean.
Sorry.
Duology.
Duality.
Yeah. I just don't. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I got super tired of superhero movies. As soon as I saw the Doctor Strange thing, I'm like, okay, Spider-Man movie. That was fine. I really like the Spider-Man movie because again, it was like kind of its own standalone thing. You could really
Yeah.
just kind of watch that. I mean, in its own way, it wasn't standalone, but
It tied things together.
It was a kind of like a little bow tie,
Yeah.
on top of a really good looking gift.
Yeah.
The Batman movie, I thought that the shots were awesome. I thought that the music was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole feel of Gotham was like one of the best things about it because I think that it was conveyed pretty well in the video games too. They have a couple video games where like it's like crime is just all over the city.
Yeah, I heard people talking about that.
It was a lot like the Arkham games, or like the Batman Arkham like trilogy, and that was a fantastic bunch of games, and I'm glad that it was really rooted in realism. I would say there's a couple of spots where I was like, okay, no way, but it was really realistic. There was a couple times where I'm like, this a little bit too close to some modern topics. You know what I mean? Where I'm like,
Yeah.
But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really like seeing Batman beat the fuck out of people. I really like watching that.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't feel like there was any.
I'm glad it wasn't like close up of this superhero, close up of that superhero. Like close
Yeah.
up of Batman with his fist, close up Batman fist punching. Like
Yeah, and I
I'm
have
glad
a
it
lot.
was far away.
I have a lot to say about everything you brought up, but I think I did like the fight scenes, but I felt different about them because I don't I mean, I haven't. I guess I can't speak too much on it because I haven't seen a superhero movie in God knows how long. But
Better that way.
it didn't feel like I think I like them because they seem like shorter fight scenes.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like all Marvel movies, like the fight scenes just like drag on.
Yeah, they'll
you know
blow,
what I
or
mean?
even the other DC movies where they blow through a wall and then the fight just continues. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the fart just continues. That's piss.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did like that. I wanted to bring up the first thing you brought up was the how it felt like this was a standalone, whereas Marvel, it's like, where is this all connecting?
Right.
And Andrew and I on the drive home, because I drove him home, I brought up to him, I'm like, I don't understand how these movies connect. Like, are all of these because how I brought that up is I was like, okay, so is this a prequel to the Dark Knight movies, or was this a sequel to it? And then he was like, I don't think it's even in the same timelines. I think they're just all separate like worlds where like these are standalone in their own Batman universe. And I'm like, well, how does that line up with the comic books? Are there different storylines? And like, I'm like, but the Batman origin story is all the same. So I just don't understand how this matches up. Like,
It's a standalone movie. It's its own thing.
so it
There's
has
nothing
to do
no connections to any other DC universe movie. None.
not with any of the other,
None.
not even DC, but just
Zero.
Batman's alone.
Yep, just Batman.
So the Joker origin story we got, and the Joker has nothing to do with this
Correct.
Joker.
Correct.
The Jim Carrey Riddler has nothing to do with
correct.
this Riddler.
Yep.
See, that's where
Its
I
own
think
standalone
that's
thing.
why I think that's another layer on top of why I'm like, ugh.
But
I
I'm glad
can't.
that it's his own thing. I want it to be his
I
own
am
thing.
too, but like it doesn't confuse me because
It's like
I
another
understand
trilogy they might
what's
have to get
going
into.
on.
You know what I mean?
yeah, I understand what's going on. And and you're right, I do like that I don't have to watch every Avengers movie to figure out what's going on in the last one. Some things I do like that about, but sometimes I just want to watch a movie and watch it because it's
Right.
good and I want to understand what's going on and get the backstory.
That's what this
in
was.
it. And I do like that, but I don't know. I just like, to me, it just, I don't know. It seems like superhero movies should be a series. I don't know. It's like the reason it pisses me off is also a reason that pisses me off about that. Like, I don't know. I just can't find a good middle ground with these superhero movies. So I guess I would say I like it better it being a standalone thing. But I don't know. It's just like, why do we need a Joker origin story if it has nothing to do with anything else?
Keep the rights. But that's basically
I
is
don't
what it
get
is.
that.
It's just to keep the rights. But this, I think that this is also like, I remember whenever they announced like the Ben Affleck Batman, they're like, "Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson is also going to be playing a Batman, but not the Ben Affleck Batman, just the Batman in the Batman movie." Like it's its own thing. Like
Wait, what is that about? I don't know. anything
I just
about
remember
that.
they announced like whenever Ben Affleck was still like doing the DCEU, the DC Extended Universe with like Superman and Aquaman and
when he did like Superman versus Batman.
yeah.
thing?
Like whenever they were filming, like I think Justice League, they're like, "Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson is actually gonna be playing Batman, but not Ben Affleck's Batman, just his own Batman. He's starting his own Batman."
Yeah. See, like
And
that's like, what the fuck are you even talking
That-
about?
It's,
I just think it's weird. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
that's capitalism, baby.
That's capitalism, baby. Again, I think I like it, but at the same time, it like makes me mad. But like again, if it was all a series, it would make me mad too because then I have to watch everything to catch up.
Well, I liked it as
So
a
I don't
standalone
know.
thing. It's also
I
like
did.
the
I think
the
I like.
Joker
I
movie.
would
as
prefer that.
as a standalone movie. Great movie. I thought it was fantastic.
And I love the Joker too.
I'm glad that the thing is that I don't want Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah,
I don't want Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in this Batman at all.
I don't either.
Fuck that. No.
I don't want. I think
There
I've-
needs to be absolutely no crossovers, no references. I don't need anything like that. It just needs to be its own little thing. It's like the I was gonna say Nolan Ryan, the Christopher Nolan
yeah.
Batman movies.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's his own thing. It's his own
Yeah.
trilogy.
Which I get that now. I didn't
Yeah.
know that before.
Yeah.
See, like for me, it's like
It's the same reason why they even released that Batman, those Batman, like Batman Begins, Dark Knight,
Yeah.
and Dark Knight Rises. That's basically the same reason why they made this. Like they're just kind of like, oh, we have time, so we made it. It's the same reason why they just have Batman movies out all the time. Like in the '90s, they had in the '90s they had like 3 different Batmans,
89
completely
to
different,
90.
completely different.
6,
Yeah,
7.
completely different
Seven.
Batmans in different own universes. Thing.
I still want to. I really want to see the Tim Burton '89 Batman.
Oh, it's so bad.
I know, but I love Tim Burton. I just want to see that.
Well, he basically just said, "I'm not reading all the fucking comics." He just made his own shit up.
See, now that kind of see, I just don't get it. I don't know. It just seems so weird to me. It's like, why are we making something based off of something that isn't actually based off of something?
Yeah, well,
It's its own
that's
thing.
exactly what
It's
Tim
just
Burton did.
weird.
But this one, I think, was a little bit more faithful to some comics. The other thing is that it's the same reason why comics are just like, yeah, here, we're starting another Batman. Here's Batman number 1. You know what I mean? Like Batman number 1, 2021. You know, like that kind of thing. So
comic books restart too.
Yeah, they just be like, okay,
it's a
Batman,
new
Batman. Superman number 1. You know, like,
Which I feel like the Avengers, Marvel did that with this latest Spider-Man movie by being like, here's these 3 Spider-Mans, and this is you finding out that they're all in different worlds.
yeah,
Which I guess, according to Andrew, we already knew that because I guess there was the Spider-Verse one where
Yeah.
we met all the other Spider-Mans.
but that was the Into the Spider-Verse was literally its own movie.
yeah,
it
but
was
they're
its
all
own-
literally their own movie unless they're at the same.
Well,
Spider-Man playing
the
the
new
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man that just came out
Yeah.
is in the DC universe.
Oh yeah, because Sony
Yeah.
owns the rights.
Yeah.
And yada,
So it's in its own, or it's in the DC universe overarching umbrella. That's the thing that pisses me off, is that it's like that it's good as its own standalone movie, but whenever you wrap it into the whole DC universe stuff, it's kind of like, okay.
It's too confusing.
All right,
for me,
great.
man.
Great. I can't wait to watch the next fucking Doctor Strange movie to get what happened in, whatever.
Yeah, but do all those take place in different worlds too?
No,
Sometimes?
all the same world. They did sometimes.
See, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm
there's a whole
already
TV
out.
series about about something happening in another alternate universe.
I'm out.
Yep.
I'm checked out completely.
Yep. And,
Completely
yeah.
checked out.
But they're all in the same, like,
Yeah. Sure.
That's why like I guess that's the reason why Marvel is its own thing. Like Marvel has its own universe. I like it that way. It kind of will separate those people. It separates you from the Marvel fans. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
it's like Marvel will be, they're super embedded in lore, and then DC's like, yeah, here's some random shit.
Yeah.
Here's Polka Dot Man. You know what I mean? Like they have superheroes like that, where it's like Umbrella Man,
Yeah.
or but villains like that, where it's like Umbrella Man. He has umbrellas, or Kite
Umbrella
Man.
Oh,
What?
you're just making up things.
No, I'm not making up things. Those are real
Okay.
villains. Those are real villains. That's DC, baby.
That's DC, baby.
Um,
Diet Coke.
but I think that this movie was fantastic. I thought the beginning was where we get introduced to Batman, like how the police department doesn't really like him. I think that it was kind of weird to not hear him talk. That entire sequence where he's just like looking around the murder scene.
Yeah.
I was just like, is he gonna say anything? I was like, I know he's investigating, but it's
Because
also
he's
like,
playing like a Sherlock Holmes character.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where Sherlock Holmes doesn't talk much until he gets started, and then he just
Right.
doesn't stop.
yeah. So it was just, that was the weird part in the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie. Another part was whenever they started, whenever the Riddler kept sending pictures of people. I talked to Spencer about this during the movie. I'm like, why wouldn't Batman just investigate where the pictures are coming from?
That's exactly what I thought at the end of the movie when they went to his apartment,
Yeah.
and I was like,
This is literally the perspective
I'm
of
like,
the
wait a
pictures.
minute. If you look at the pictures, that's where we see him. Why
Yeah.
don't you just look up there?
Right.
I thought the same thing. That was another
Like,
like
what, they
hole
just-
in the story that
yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Though, I'm glad that this movie wrapped itself up. I'm really glad about that. I
Yeah.
really don't care how long it was. I
don't either.
I
don't
was
either.
like, I'm glad, because in a Marvel movie, it would be Batman does all this stuff, Riddler gets arrested, cut, credits.
Yeah.
And then we learn what happens to the Riddler in the next movie when Batman goes and discovers that Joker's broken out of Arkham and Two-Face is there too.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing, where it's like, I'm glad it wasn't that, and I'm glad it wrapped itself up. Where it's like, they went their own separate ways, and
Mhm.
didn't have to worry about it. I don't give a fuck about any other character besides just Batman. This is his own little thing.
Yeah, and I definitely need to sometime soon rewatch the Christopher
Avenge.
Nolan, Nolan Ryan
The Christopher Nolan movies.
Batman movies. There's 2, right? Just 2.
3.
There's 3.
Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
All with Christian Bale.
The first one is really weird. I haven't watched that in a long time. It's not really my favorite movie
Okay.
in the world.
But those are all in the same universe. Okay.
And you do have to watch those in sequential order. You
Yeah.
don't have to go back and watch Batman 1999
No.
to go understand this Batman 2005.
Yeah.
which is crazy that it came out like 2005.
It came out 2005?
Yeah, like 2006 or
Jeez.
something like that. It's kind of crazy.
But those all spanned out pretty far years.
Yeah, they
right?
were really
like
far
it
away.
It went to
Yeah.
like 2012 or something.
Because I remember whenever the Batman Dark Knight with the Joker came out, it was like years since we had seen. Like we
Wait,
just
so the first two didn't have Joker in it? It wasn't until the last one?
no, the first one didn't.
But the second two did.
Second one did.
Yeah.
And then the third one had Bane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That one came out much like, no, it's like 2011, 2012, I think.
Yeah. No, the last one
The Bane, yeah.
that was like 2014.
Really? That late? Double check that because I don't feel like that's right. And if it is, I'm gonna feel old. So did the last one even have
2012.
Joker?
You're right. Sorry.
Sorry.
I just remember watching it like at an older age where I actually understood what was going on. Yeah, Batman Begins 2005. Dark Knight
Wow.
2008. Dark Knight Rises 2012.
So did the last one have Joker in it at all, or was it
No,
just Bane?
just Bane.
But the second one was
Joker.
all Joker.
All Joker. Yeah. And then the first one's Scarecrow. Which is why
don't even remember
that's why
Scarecrow. Exactly.
That's what I mean is that it wasn't a great movie.
Yeah. See, I don't even know. Damn it! But I'll have to watch that one, I guess.
But yeah, I really liked that series. And I told you this after we watched the movie.
Mhm.
These Christopher Nolan movies are like jump cuts. There's a
Yeah.
huge gap in time between cuts. It is sometimes
Which I
it's kind of
think
hard to
I'm-
watch, and there's a
yeah.
lot more sweeping like helicopter shots. A lot more of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked this Batman a lot more. I think that this Batman, I think that Gotham and that Batman mixed together better than like billionaire philanthropist, like just kind of doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Wait, which one? I zoned out there for a second. Ooh, gross. Which one's billionaire philanthropist? You're saying the last one?
the Christopher Nolan.
yeah.
those are-
because
that's
this
like-
one seemed more gritty.
Yeah, and this one, this one wasn't. I really hate because you always hear about gritty Batman revival, but
Which one are you saying you liked better?
I liked the Batman movie, the
Okay.
one that we just watched.
And why is that? Even though he still
Because-
is the billionaire
because
philanthropist.
He's way moodier. And you don't see him outside of his mask because he hates being out in the light.
Mhm.
And I like this one also better because the Batman melded together better with this Arkham, or not this Arkham, this Gotham City, where it was like, okay,
Yeah.
this Gotham is like. That's the other thing is that you
The
could really,
shithole.
yeah, and you could really tell that it wasn't just Chicago, New York, like
Yeah.
Detroit, like all that stuff. It was like its own thing. I'm glad
It's
that
like
they
Chicago
yeah.
and New York together.
Yeah, I'm glad it was like that, where it's like, it wasn't just like, oh, this is very obviously New York City.
Yeah.
Like I to be honest with you, I'm sick and tired of watching New York movies. I'm
Yeah.
so fucking sick.
Well, they
of it.
shot it in like a bunch of different places.
And I'm glad about that because
Yeah,
that
me
makes
too.
it
I
more of a
agree.
cohesive city of like, oh, this is actually Gotham. It's its own thing. They
Yeah.
have their own buildings, and they have a seawall, which was like I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that was cool too. I that's the sea. I'm jumping around here a bit, but that seawall thing, I wish they would have set up a little bit more.
Yeah, it was
You know
like,
what I mean?
oh no, there's vans all over the city.
Yeah, and they're gonna blow up each seawall, and I was like, what? I was like, see, because I'm just like, oh well, it's like, New York is an island surrounded
Yeah.
by water.
yeah,
If you blow up the edge of it, nothing's gonna happen. You
Right.
might have a little bit of flooding, but like it's enough above the water that
Right.
it'll be fine. And so I didn't even understand what he was saying until they exploded. I'm like, oh, seawall, as in like, there's dams.
Yeah.
There's water that goes above it.
yeah,
So I really wish they would have set that up more so I understood what was going
right.
on. So that was kind of weird. I wanted to circle back to the beginning, though, when you brought up how we were introduced to the Batman. And that's where I was getting at, where I was saying, like, I haven't seen the Christopher Nolan ones in a while to remember how they started. But I felt like the introduction to the Batman where he comes out of the shadows on the train, I kind of felt like that was not... I felt like it should have been like a bigger moment when we first saw him.
Right.
I just felt like that was such a kind of just like
It's very small scale.
yeah, it's very small scale, very low stakes, not really much to it,
Yeah.
which I kind of felt, I don't know,
Also,
in
it
the
kind
line
of
of the
made the-
story it made sense,
Right.
but I just felt like I needed more.
It
there.
also kind of like discounted Batman's like crime fighting because it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
he's just fighting these petty crimes.
yeah,
Whereas all of a sudden now he's taking up like the mayor's been killed kind of thing.
yeah, like the mayor's been killed.
It's like, okay, so is he going around, stopping the robbers,
yeah,
or is he going around and stopping literal criminals, like
Yeah.
criminal villains, like terrible people?
like
Or
I
is he
feel
just-
like we shouldn't have that whole.
It should have been cooler if he just
Halloween
dropped down
villain
and started
thing.
taking them up. Like I think that would have been cooler.
I just felt like we
I was-
shouldn't even gotten that at all. I felt like it should have been completely cut. We
I-
could have cut like 20 minutes out of
Yeah.
the film, maybe even a half an hour by taking that whole part out. Not
I
that it needs to
don't-
be shorter, but we just didn't need that
Yeah.
setup. We know who Batman is. We
Right.
know what he does.
It was basically just a narration. I think
Yeah,
that was
it
like
just
the whole
seemed
point.
like it just seemed like something that should be added in like a DVD extra. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like director's cut, and
Right.
that's in there.
And I understand the significance of like the boot walking and like
Yeah.
you can hear him moving, but I think it would have been a lot cooler if he just came in and started taking people away.
I agree.
Or like beating the fuck out of
little
them.
sneakier.
Like being way sneakier than being like I am the darkness, I am vengeance, and then like
Yeah.
coming out of the darkness and being vengeance.
I didn't like the whole vengeance
Yeah.
thing. That really annoyed me the whole movie. Also, Something in the Way played too many times. They used it way too much.
Yeah.
They
There
should
was
have used
3
something else.
times when it came in.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Way too much though. And I love that song,
Yeah.
but like one at a time is enough. I
Yeah.
don't need it that many
I
times.
think it was integrated perfectly in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that was great. I'm
Yeah.
like, cool, we need the whole song, and you see him turning down the volume, he's listening to it, yada yada. But I don't need it. I don't need it for like, cause like that was their jump cuts was using that song, and it was just
Yeah.
like,
Time passing.
did you guys just not want to pay for rights for other songs? Like, did you blow all the budget on that one? But yeah, that beginning just, I wish it would have just like, I wish we wouldn't even have seen Batman at all. It would have just started with that mayor thing, and then I don't know, some
really-
sort of
yeah, it
Batman
very much
introduction
could've.
into that somehow.
Yeah.
But like we just didn't. I just like it's too low
Eh,
stakes. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Too low. And I get it because
It also
Batman's
just showed that
fighting
he
crime
beats the
anywhere,
fuck
but-
out of people. I think
Yeah.
that was the point. Is to be like, yeah, he beats the hell out of people. He like uses other things other than his fists. Because
Yeah.
some comics or like some other movies are like, oh, like he doesn't use bats. He doesn't use any of his environment to beat up people. He
Yeah.
doesn't use pipes. He doesn't use anything. He just uses his fists. He just
Mhm.
takes these hits and takes them as they go.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he like actually utilized like the guns and like the bats that people
Yeah.
were using. I thought that was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, and I really liked the Riddler. I felt like, first of all,
Paul
the actor
Dano is a Riddler. by the way.
yeah, and he was in There Will Be Blood, which is a great movie that everybody should watch. He's a really good actor. Like, he has a lot of range, and I felt like he played a very good incel character.
Yeah.
But when he wasn't being incel, like, he was actually like legitimately like scary.
Yeah,
like,
he was psychopathic.
Saw.
Yeah.
And I like the kind of like, it felt like kind of a horror with like the
Yeah.
Saw type things, or the bomb around the neck, and you have to solve these riddles to
Yeah.
free this person, but it doesn't work out. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I think he was really good,
I think that
and I like that Riddler character a lot.
I think Commissioner Gordon, or not Commissioner Gordon, I guess, but Detective Gordon was really good in this movie. I think Jim Gordon.
the black guy.
Yeah.
yeah,
The-
he was
that-
very good.
I'm
He's
glad.
really cool.
I'm glad that it wasn't Gary Oldman. As much as I like
Oh,
Gary
yeah.
Oldman playing him in the Christopher Nolan movies, I'm
Mhm.
glad that it was a black person. Number one.
Yeah, of
and,
course.
And number two, I'm glad that this one was like working with the Batman. And some of them, it's like he's skeptical, but I'm glad that from the get go, it was like Jim Gordon works with the Batman.
yeah,
They do not like
Yeah.
this. I'm glad that it was very much like that, where it's like, I don't know. I don't really like the Batman. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about this Batman fella.
yeah.
Like, this Batman fella's stopping all the crime that we should be solving. Like, he's getting in the way.
Yeah, I felt like I did really like him, and I liked his range again too. I like how he could be like serious, but then like really serious, like in that scene where he like throws him up against the wall.
Yeah.
But I also felt at the same time he was kind of goofy. He had some kind of like goofy lines where it was like, "Oh, there's a letter for you here.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Do you understand
I-
what that means?"
There was,
I was like, "What
I-
do you? No cop says that. Cops don't talk like that.
yeah.
You know what I
there
mean?
was, there was a part where, like, Batman literally opens up the letter and sees the cipher.
Yeah.
And then, then Gordon's like, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
And I was like, I turned to Spencer and I was like, is Batman going to say, like, shut the fuck up, just let me work?
Yeah. He's gonna tell you
Yeah,
what it means.
Yeah, just give me a fucking second.
or he's gonna tell you, I don't know what this is.
Right.
Like cops don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this, you see this blood spat? What is that?
He like looks at something on a wall.
Yeah.
What do you think that is? I can't. Like he just seemed like
Yeah.
kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Which is the director's fault, not
Yeah.
the. He did great as an
Yeah.
actor
As an
playing
actor,
what
he
he
did
needed to
really
be,
good.
but some of
Um,
his lines were just like, okay,
Did you know Colin Farrell was the Penguin?
Yeah, he just
I
had a
think-
bunch of prosthetics on.
That is the craziest thing to
What
me.
has Colin Farrell been in
Let's find
that
out.
I would know him for? I knew it was him, but I don't know who he is exactly. He was really good too, and of course,
It was weird because I knew that he was in Dumbo,
Never saw it.
Fantastic Beasts.
Never saw it. Any TV shows or anything?
That's what I'm trying to find.
What are you looking at? I should
I'm
just
looking
say
at
everything.
I'm looking. There's just I don't know. Like there's nothing I recognize, so I can't imagine you recognizing any of this stuff.
What?
The Recruit, Winter's Tale, After Yang, Fright Night, Dead Man Down, Minority Report, The Beguiled, Horrible Bosses. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah. you're
SWAT,
right, I don't.
Miami Vice, Phone Booth, Daredevil, In Bruges, Alexander, The Lobster, Total Recall. Total Recall?
No.
Maybe? The Gentleman. Like,
No.
that's what I mean, is that his movies are just
Yeah.
all over the
Anyways, I really
I
liked
know
him.
him from the Harry Potter Crimes of Grindelwald stuff. That's the only reason.
Who would he play in Harry Potter?
The bat, like, the alter ego of the bad guy.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
He was really good. I like the whole mob kind of side story. Not side story, but I like the kind of mob. You know, this guy runs New York. I love that because I love mob movies. That's
Right.
like my favorite genre. So I love that whole part of it.
There
the
was
underground crime boss things.
the
and that.
annoying part about Colin Farrell's Penguin was that you could tell that he's a British guy playing an American.
Oh, he is. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
he's
even
British.
know. Didn't even know. Swear to
I
God.
could tell because the way he said Goyle wasn't like consistent. He would change. It was like, oh,
Go.
yeah, he would be like go or Goyle. Like it was like
Really?
yeah. There's a couple parts where I'm like, that's not how you. That's not how real like
Yeah.
like Goyle. You
Yeah.
got to get like into it. And like I feel like he's just not. I feel like he also just wasn't big enough for the role. I was like, the Penguin is.
Oh, I
big.
thought so.
I think of the Penguin being fat as fuck.
I thought I liked. I mean, I don't. Again, I'm not enough into. I liked who he was as the Penguin. I liked Joe Pesci
that's the thing
type
is that
character.
it was like rooted in realism. Is that this was a realistic character? It wasn't the Tim Burton.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Tim Burton,
Yeah.
Danny DeVito, where he's a horribly mutilated. Like here's
Yeah.
a here's a background of this horribly mutilated child that eats fish.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, from birth. He's got 3 fingers.
Yeah, it made more sense
Yeah.
in the
And I'm
storyline.
yeah, and I'm really glad about that. I really liked
Yeah.
that a lot. That it was like, oh, he's a crime boss. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was gonna be like, here's my top hat, monocle, and my
I
cigarette.
thought so too. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was
to
like,
be
oh,
honest.
great, like. But
Yeah.
I'm glad it was like, oh, he's just like this guy.
We're
Yeah.
getting more real.
Yeah.
and that's what I like too. Like, I'm all fine with superhero movies being goofy and whatever, but like I do like when things are more realistic. I'm a realist.
Yeah,
I keep it real.
yeah, you keep it real.
Yeah, so my opinion on it is that I liked it. I think it had flaws. There are a lot of very funny moments that we can talk
Yeah.
about in a minute. But I don't think it was perfect, but most movies aren't. But I did like it a lot. Like, it's definitely my favorite superhero movie I've seen in a while. And like you said, I didn't mind that it was long. It could have been longer and I would have been fine. I
Yeah.
like long movies. Like The Irishman a lot. That's almost 4 hours. So I was fine with it. Just some things that I'm like, okay, that could have been changed, yada yada. I think Zoe Kravitz did a really good job with her character.
There was one plot point with her character where she said that she is Falcone's daughter,
Yeah,
and then she introduces herself to Falcone,
yeah.
and I was like, I thought he knew who you were. Like,
I get where
I get it, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
I get why you think that. I knew that
he was
she-
a crime boss, and he fucked a lot of people. I
Yeah,
guess,
he fucked a lot of people and got this girl knocked up, and she never knew because
I
he
thought it
did
was like, oh, like her and her mom and Falcone were married, and like
Yeah.
they had a kid, and
Yeah, no,
and
and
he
I,
just like left.
yeah, and it was like literally only mentioned once, and you
Yeah.
had to be paying attention to hear
Yeah.
it. The other thing
Are
I
you
didn't
saying I wasn't paying
understand.
attention?
No. The other thing I didn't understand, and Andrew tried to explain it to me, and I think while he was explaining it, we missed a important point.
And you zoned out.
And I zoned out. I did zone out a few times. I didn't. So, who actually killed the Waynes? Was it
Falcone.
Marconi? Okay, but why did Falcone say Macaroni or whatever his name was killed his? Where did that? And why did it end up finding out that? How did he end up finding out that it was Falcone and not Macaroni?
He found out it was Falcone and not Macaroni because he talked to Alfred, and Alfred told him the truth of like
Okay.
what had happened.
But why did
And the ho-
Alfred never
And that was
tell
the other
him?
weird thing is that I was like, I'm pretty sure Alfred just survived a bomb,
Yeah.
and I was like, and he's talking.
And he wakes up and he's like,
Oh yeah, and I
there he
joked with
is.
Spencer right before the scene came on. I was like, oh, he's gonna ask him. He's like, what'd you say about my father? Like,
Yeah.
or tell me about my father. I thought it was gonna be that, and then it was literally that, and I was
Yeah.
like, all right. I mean, give him some time to recover, but okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess that's really like that's kind of like superhero movies in general.
So why did so this is what Andrew said to okay, yeah, go ahead.
Basically, it was like, if my understanding is that it was like Wayne was Thomas Wayne?
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's dad, Thomas Wayne, was running for mayor.
Mhm.
His mom had a past of being in the asylum that that her parents owned,
Mhm.
Arkham Asylum. I guess
Yeah.
she was at Arkham. That was pretty cool to see that. I didn't even know that those were the two founding families of Gotham. But
Yeah.
sure, as much as I like Batman, I didn't even know that. His mom was in the insane asylum. There was someone trying to put dirt on Thomas Wayne as he was running for mayor.
Yeah.
And-
reporter or something.
Yeah, a reporter. And so Wayne was like trying to pay off the reporter, and then the reporter was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And then he goes to Falcone, who I guess they were friends with before.
Yeah. Or
They knew each
somehow.
other, and Falcone explained it that Wayne came to him and was like, "I need you to figure it out."
And
Or
you
like,
just scare him.
yeah, I need you to scare him. And then he kills the reporter, and then tells him that some rando came up and killed him in revenge for the reporter
Mhm.
after later that week or whatever, or like later at a later date.
Oh,
was like-
somebody. Oh,
It was like some rando guy.
But he said it was from Maroney.
Yeah,
He
and
said
Maroney had hired somebody, I'm sorry. Falcone hired Maroney to kill.
Oh, so he could blame
Yeah.
it on.
Yeah, so that he could be like, "Oh, it wasn't my fault. It was that guy."
Oh, and then that led
Yeah.
to the downfall of Maroney
Yeah.
because
Yeah, exactly.
that was another reason
Yeah.
for it. What a weird.
and then
That's weird.
and
to
then
me.
so then what Alfred explained is that no, it was actually just Falcone. Falcone did it himself.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't Falcone, it was some random guy that Falcone told him to kill.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay.
Yeah,
That's weird, but I get it.
yeah. It's mob material.
Yeah. Mob mentality.
Yeah.
Did you catch on to at the end where Batman's talking to the Riddler, and it seems like through the whole movie that the Riddler knows that
Batman.
that Bruce Wayne is
Yeah.
Batman, and then at the end he's like, "If only I could have gotten Bruce Wayne," and then the Batman's like, "Oh shit, he doesn't know that that's me."
I think it was
Did
bluffing.
you catch on to that?
I think it was no, I didn't. I think it was bluffing. though.
You think the Riddler was?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think the Riddler. I think he was saying like, I think that Batman caught on that the Riddler was trying to get him to be like, he really wanted to kill Bruce Wayne because he was the son of Thomas Wayne,
Yeah.
the one that's founded the orphanage and how he hated living in the orphanage. And then he was like, and he resented Bruce Wayne
Mhm.
for being, being an orphan,
A
even though
rich orphan.
Yeah, a rich
Yeah.
orphan. And but I think that was what the Riddler was also kind of freaking out about, because he's like, I'm not that guy, and that's why he's like, no, we were supposed to work together, like.
Yeah, but he ends up like at the end he's like, he keeps saying Bruce Wayne but never
Yeah.
saying it directly to him, and then he's
Right.
finally like, he was the only one I didn't
Yeah,
get, and
yeah.
then Batman's like, oh, he doesn't know that that's me.
Yeah, I did catch on. To that,
Okay.
yeah,
I didn't know if you did or not, because it's
Yeah.
like, again, it was
it
one of those
was
things where you're
very
like,
very
you
subtle.
had to pick up on.
Yeah.
And there's like a score change where it like
Yeah,
it's like building up, and then it just goes like quiet
yeah.
whenever that happens.
Yeah.
So
I
I
thought
thought,
it
that
was-
was interesting.
I thought that that I really think that some of the shots were really cool. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed some of those shots. Those were
Yeah,
really
I like
cool.
the dark grittiness of it. I think
The-
Robert Patterson did a great job
Yeah,
as
Robert
Batman.
Robert Patterson.
Robert Patterson.
Uh,
Robert Patterson.
I think that the chase scene between the Penguin and the Batman was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was another thing that I was like, whenever Catwoman was like, oh, like he owes me, and then so she just takes a whole bag of money and then just was still focused on like getting back at Falcone. I was
Yeah.
like, you got the money. I mean, if he's supposed to owe you, then like, what do you want?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
cards were really funny. That I laughed anytime
The cards.
that the Riddler's end. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no, so we can talk about funny things now. because we laughed a lot.
Yeah, I laughed a ton during this movie.
Yeah,
I laughed
the
out
cards
of,
though.
Yeah, the cards
especially.
were really funny. I really enjoyed those. It was like
because they're
for
so
you.
serious
Yeah.
about this this card, and it's like
for you, friend.
Yeah, I love you to the moon and back,
Yeah.
and that's why you should, whatever.
Yeah, it's like I'm a mad scientist, and we would make great chemistry.
Yeah, I love that one, and it's just like it's so serious. Like he's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
It's from Hallmark. This one's from Hallmark.
I remember designing this card.
Where's the card from? It's from Hallmark. He got it at Hallmark. It was $267.
There was another part where they were figuring out what the flying rat thing, where it's like LURL.
yeah,
And I thought that was funny because he was like realizing it, and then they just automatically went to a computer. I'm like, where is he?
yeah. I was
I was like, where the
computer
fuck
come
is
from?
he? And then
Did he go home?
I will say it is funny that like the penguin was like, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You guys forget about me? And then he just drove off.
Well, I just don't. That first time the code comes up where they're in the mayor's house, and how does Batman immediately know that the code says he stays lying or whatever it said?
Oh, he lies still.
Yeah. How did he just know the riddle,
The
or did he?
riddle, yeah.
Okay, he just knew the riddle without
Yeah.
having to decipher it.
Yeah.
He's
and-
a good Batman
got the-
looked up some riddles.
Yeah.
apparently.
That was the thing is whenever they were the bomb sequence, I saw that before, but I thought that was just like that was really tense. Everybody
Yeah.
was quiet. Like there was only a few people in the theater, but even then, like there wasn't any. Like Andrew and Spencer and we were all really quiet.
Yeah, we were focused.
I
on
was
that.
like, so that was really intense.
yeah,
Because I honestly wasn't expecting him to actually get blown up.
yeah. I didn't know what to expect either. I guess I didn't either, and then it happened, and you're like, all right, that's cool. Yeah. Other funny moments was just some of the cops. One of the cops comes in at the beginning and says something. And he was like, "You gotta talk like this." Oh, it was the guy who ends up getting killed by the rats. Whoever that guy was.
Oh yeah.
And he comes in,
yeah,
he's like,
the commissioner.
"What
yeah.
is he doing here?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "We're like, what?" It was just the weirdest way.
he doing?
Hey, what's he doing here? You're my little brother.
And then they're like, I guess he was really deep and he was really corrupted and
I don't know what is he doing here?
yeah. That was another thing I noticed is that the Batman and Jim Gordon, if you were to close your eyes, sometimes it was like that's the same character.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
like
the same guy.
because they were both talking like this, like under
Yeah.
their breath, like they were both talking like this the whole time.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of any of the cops kind of dialogue. I
think
thought
that was
they
the
wall
point.
kind of goofy.
I think that was the
and-
point, is because they're like, fuck these guys, like they don't even know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah, and well, that's why I said Batman is a cab.
Yeah.
Um,
And something in my ass. I
Yeah.
kept singing that to Spencer because that's really popular on TikTok right now. But like anytime something dramatic relatively happened, I just would sing something in my ass.
Any other funny moments that I'm missing?
I thought it was. I will say that it wasn't funny, but I laughed out loud during it. There was like a bad at the ending where he's fighting the guys and it's like really dark in there. That was fucking cool. Like
with
when
the
he's coming down the
guns?
hallway and the guns and it's like
Yeah, that
flashing.
was cool.
That was super duper
Yeah.
cool. I'm glad I'm glad there was like that like horror, like scary thriller element of it where it's like he is literally the darkness, like nobody knows where the fuck he is. And
Yeah.
like that was really cool. I'm glad that because there's like a lot of fans or a few fans that were like, we need a horror Batman where it's like he's
Yeah.
scary as fuck.
Which is kind of what this one
And
kind of was.
Kind of was, but I kind of wish that it was even scarier. Like I wanted it
Yeah.
to be even more.
I
like,
didn't think
I wanted more of the violin, like
Yeah, I didn't think
You know?
Batman was scary, but I
Yeah.
thought the Riddler was. I thought the
Yeah.
movie itself was scary. and
yeah, overarching it
villains
was
were
scary.
scary.
Yeah,
but I didn't think Batman himself
Nah,
was scary. I
it
thought he
really
was
wasn't.
Kind of emo.
and it was honestly, it's funny because they started the movie basically saying like the concept of Batman is scary to
Yeah.
to the villains.
yeah, which was cool.
Yeah.
I did like that setup.
I thought it was funny because it's like like it's not really Batman, but more like the concept of Batman that was really scaring them.
It's not even Batman doesn't have to be there for them to be scared.
Yeah, they were even scared even if they saw the bat signal.
That's hardcore, dude.
I also kind of got confused over like the Russian girl dying,
Yeah,
and it was like, how did her body end up in this guy's car?
Because they went and killed her, and
Yeah.
then they put her in the car, and
'Cause
but
she
why
stayed
was
there-
she still in the
there.
car?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like,
that was
why
a
didn't
long
they just,
time for her to be in the car.
Yeah. I'm like,
I
I,
don't
can't
know.
imagine driving a car that smells like that.
Yeah, I don't know. that I guess that was just the way to introduce Catwoman.
Yeah, and I think that I'm glad that the overarching themes of it were like politics is corruption.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad that was a really good like concept
yeah.
based.
But I also kind of felt like that was the storyline for the Joker movie. You know what I mean?
I never watched
Like
the Joker
everything.
movie.
What? Oh, dude, you got to see it. I really like that movie.
You are Joker pilled.
I'm Joker pilled, blue pilled.
Uh-huh.
You really should. Why
I mean,
haven't
I'm
you
gonna-
seen it?
I just didn't watch it.
Wow, that's weird.
I'm not
for you
Joker
to
pilled.
not
I'm
have seen
Batman
that.
pilled.
Well, better get on your bias and go watch it. No, you should watch it, but once you watch that, you'll be like, oh, interesting, because they're like almost the same storyline. Like it's two characters who are against corruption and are tired of, the corrupt Gotham and want to do something about it. And then they do, and then there's an uprising. And
I'm just really
you know.
scared that I would find that the Joker is a lot like me.
I'm just scared that this could happen in real life.
Yeah.
Fuck Ukraine. Fuck all this shit happening in Ukraine, dude. This is gonna happen on our turf because of the Batman.
I'm gonna start a war.
I'm gonna start a war right in my hometown.
Batman.
I'm building bombs in my backyard.
I got Batman in my backyard.
I got Batman outside. If you guys want to see it, pretty cool.
I thought the Batmobile was really cool. I thought that was.
It was like It was like John Wick's car.
Yeah. Yeah. It really was.
It was fine. I don't feel a negative way or positive way. It wasn't the Christopher Nolan fucking tank car.
Yeah.
So I guess I would say I liked it better.
Yeah. And it also showed that like basically it was like they're building up the reveal to it because he's like, oh, he's building this engine. Like they had like it like panned over all the engine parts and then it like went up.
Oh, I
to
don't
it.
even remember that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, so he's building this car. Like it wasn't just like he's paying this guy named Lucius Fox, who is a military expert to
Oh, is that in the Nolan
Yeah.
ones? Oh.
to make this stuff for him.
He mostly drove that motorcycle though,
Yeah.
most of the time.
And I'm glad that at the ending it shows that he was also improving on the motorcycle design. I've seen
See, I don't even remember that
yeah,
either. I
there,
didn't
it
see
looked
any of that.
different. It looked different. There was a different.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
There was
I
like
just,
a really big headlight at the
oh
beginning.
yeah, I noticed his tires were fatter.
Yeah.
But not as fat as the Christopher Nolan bike. The car and the bike
Yeah.
are huge.
Yeah.
Well, I think the bike comes out of the car
Yeah, it does,
in the
yeah.
Nolan one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I had the toy.
Yeah, me too.
It was really big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that was cool.
It really wasn't that. It was, it wasn't huge, but it was just by average size.
I wish I had that.
Yeah.
It was about the size of a baby's head.
Yeah.
Well, anything else Batman before we move on from Batman?
It's really good. I really liked it.
Yeah, go see it. Even if you are not coming from a non-superhero fan, go see it. You will like it, especially if you like mob movies. It has a little bit to do with that, so that part. I didn't even know that, but that definitely would draw me in to rewatch it or something, Would you rewatch it?
Yeah, I would for sure.
You want to see it another time? You want to go tonight?
No,
I don't.
it's really long. I mean, as much as I really liked it, I will say it is pretty long.
It's really wrong.
It's really long.
It's messed
Um,
up.
Because I checked the time a couple times and I'm like, wow,
I didn't at all. I've made that mistake before.
this is a long movie.
There was a couple times towards the end where I was like, okay, what is
I had to
this?
go pee really bad at the end of the movie. And I'm like, as soon as they started talking about like the Joker or Two-Face or whatever,
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm like, I don't even give a fuck anymore. I don't want to hear about this.
I didn't get up for any refills or have to go pee at all somehow, which I usually do even in like hour and a half movies. But my ass was getting numb. Like,
Oh,
like it
I've
was
had that before, yeah.
hurting. I was like, okay, I'm getting very uncomfortable.
That's why they
now.
have heat seaters at Wernberg.
heat seaters.
At Marcus Theaters.
Snarkus. Okay, Batman.
I'm vengeance. I'm a vegan. I'm gonna go vegan.
Well, that was our Batman dissertation.
I also kind of wish that the Batman's voice was more like the Batman from the animated series.
I haven't seen it. so I
Not
don't
like
know.
not like I'm growling in your ear, but more of like I'm talking to you, Batman. Like I'm talking to you, Jim. I'll have to pull it up.
Yeah, because I'm lost. I don't even know which Batman animated series you're referring to. Is there
Animated
multiple?
series.
Animated. When is the Batman animated series from? That's the one with Robin in it. Why have there been no live action Robins in any of the Batman movies?
Good question.
I think it's kind of fucked up. Thank you, Alexa. It's Alexa.
Looks like an issue with the router and Echo device, so try restarting them. Unplug both of them, then plug the router.
This is my guest for the week, Alexa.
Holy shit, dude. She is talking.
She talks a lot. There she is. That's why you should never get one of those women. They just keep yapping. They just stop yapping. Did you find it? What are you looking for exactly?
For 29 years.
Joker's opened every cell in Arkham.
That.
What about it?
That's the type of voice I wanted from Batman.
Why?
That's just, it seems like darker. Like the animated series
That
Batman
seems
from the
kinda
90s.
corny to me though.
The Batman series from the 90s won a Grammy, won an Emmy for being for like best animated series.
Yeah, but like I picture that voice in an animated series. I can't picture a real life
Oh, it'd be pretty
Batman
cool.
like that. I think it'd be corny. I think it would be too Avengers.
Maybe not for this
Marvel.
movie, but like a
Yeah.
different Batman movie. Would be pretty
It would
cool.
not be a Batman movie I would
still
watch.
need this. We heard this in Christopher Nolan's. I don't want to hear it anymore.
I mean, I don't need this, but like I'm fine with him talking.
I just got
Deeper.
tired of it.
But I don't. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm fine with not having this, but I don't need whatever that.
Look out,
was.
Joker.
Yeah, I don't need that. That sounds like fuck, what's his name? We were just talking about him. Who played Adam? No, not Adam West.
Adam West. Yeah, let's get him.
Oh yeah, Adam West kind of does sound like that though in a way. But anyways, someone
Did sound like that.
the other guy.
Did sound.
Adam
like
West is dead.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He died not too long ago, like
Yeah.
a couple of years back. What was the other Batman? We were literally just talking about him.
Christopher Nolan.
No, that's the director.
Michael Keaton.
Yes, there we go.
Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah,
Are we talking
kind of like that, right? Didn't he kind of talk like that
yeah,
guy
I think so,
a little
yeah.
bit?
Mhm.
But he also kind of had the low sweet talking.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. Adam West passed away in 2017.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhat recent because he
Except
was in,
not at all.
he was in Fairly Odd Parents, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, he was like a featured guest.
Yeah, and Family Guy.
Oh, really? I didn't
Mayor
know that.
Adam West.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch that. I didn't
No.
subscribe to that.
So that's the end of our Batman talk.
Yeah, and that's kind of almost the end of the show. So I think we should.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
I think we should talk about what we're listening to and get out of here. We can end a little bit early. I have other things to talk about, but there's no reason to keep going. I don't think it would just be kind of
Yes.
deterring from.
Well, it's also my
questions.
spring break, so I get some free time to actually enjoy myself.
Yeah, you gotta sleep in now.
Yeah. I still have to
Or
study for
whatever.
an exam though. So
When is the exam? After spring break?
no, during spring break.
What
It's
the
like
fuck?
online. It's online.
Why? Why do they do that? What's the point?
It was due Sunday, but we moved it to Wednesday. But we'll see.
So it's due Wednesday now.
Yeah.
So you could have done it before, but you didn't.
Could have, but I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's fine. But still, I mean, don't make things due over spring break.
I also have a pay per view over spring break. That was supposed to be due on Sunday. We moved it to Saturday.
That's dumb.
Anyway,
I don't get that.
what am I listening to this week? I'm listening
Yeah. What are you
to.
listening to?
I spoiled it for you over text, but I'm listening to the new Ghost album, Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
And I am absolutely loving it. There's some really good lyrics in there. Trump makes an appearance on the cover of the album,
I haven't
or
seen
like
it.
on an
I'll look it
insert.
up.
Just like I think Imperium Trump. It will probably pop it up.
Keep going.
There's a song about Mike Pence in there.
Really?
It's called Griftwood. Instead of Driftwood, it's Griftwood.
Why is there a song about Mike Pence?
It's about Mike Pence. Just he hates Mike Pence and he hates Donald Trump. The lead singer does.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I get that. I'm not finding it. Would it be on their Instagram, maybe?
What?
The
I'll have
Trump
to.
thing.
Sorry, I'll have to pull it up.
That's fine. We can worry about it later. So there's a song about Mike Pence. Go on.
Oh, it's in the artwork for the 20s.
For the 20s?
There's a song on there called 20s.
Oh. The 20s?
Yeah.
I hate that song.
Yeah, I don't really like that song. My dad said in the grand scheme of the album it's good, but it really sticks out like a sore thumb in my eyes. I don't know. It's just if it was its own thing and out of the album, that'd be great. Because it's just there's not enough guitar in it in my head to be like, oh, this is like a Ghost song.
Yeah.
This is like its own thing. I think that was.
Oh, this thing's going again, so we're probably cutting to camera audio now. Probably just full, so that's okay. We'll just keep going. Sorry, audio quality change. I don't have the mic on the camera either, but it's fine.
I think the 20s was supposed to be like Missy Elliott. I think that was what he was. He did an interview where he said it was supposed to be like Missy Elliott referencing, because it's like look out y'all, look out motherfuckers and all this shit.
That's interesting.
But yeah, I really like Spillways, Griftwood, Bite of Passage, Respite on the Spinal Fields, Darkness at the Heart of My Love. This whole album is just great. 20s is the only explicit song on this album, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's why.
Are their songs usually not very explicit?
No, they're not. I mean, explicit in the sense of someone who's religious, and yes, it's very explicit. But
yeah, we're back. We're good now.
Okay.
I deleted a file, so hopefully it'll keep running. So sorry about that.
Yeah, so like Call Me Little Sunshine is really good. Hunter's Moon from...
they put that on the
album.
album.
Yeah, they put that on the album. But yeah, Griftwood is really good. I'm going to play it for a brief second. Okay. Like, there's a part where it's like... the disdain and abhorred lash of the Senate whip. Ooh, it's a power trip. I'm your rock baby. I won't back down. I'm your rock baby. Ask yourself, ooh, are you righteous? And then he also, like, Mike Pence calls his mom mother. And so he's like, Holy Mother, you washeth the sin from my feet. Holy Mother, you shine like the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky. Holy Mother, you washeth the sin from my feet. Holy Mother. Like, it's very much about Mike Pence. He did a whole
Isn't that kind of
interview.
weird when Mike Pence isn't even, like, in the news about anything at all and hasn't been for, like, a while? I just feel like that's kind of odd.
Like in the interview, he said, we live in a time right now where we believe that history is a thing of the past, and everything that we live through here is going forward is eternal, which is not true. Maybe we have the foundation of a society that could remain for some time and function, but unfortunately, if you look through history, there's a natural cycle where society is built up and then it's sort of perfected, and then it usually falls apart. The past couple of years, we've been regressing so hard. A lot of the thing, there's an ad on here that looks really weird. In the past couple of years, we've been regressing so hard. A lot of the things that almost felt like fiction, a lot of our lyrical content that seemed like we were singing about things that happened in the past and way in the distance are now are like, wow, this is all over the place. People are really working hard to destroy progress, ultimately create a time machine that will set us back hundreds of years in the mental evolution. Confirmed that the song was mostly aimed at Pence, who was served as vice president. That song's about him and anyone who's like him who's willing to soil everything they've worked for. They definitely qualify for a front row ticket to hell, which is so ironic because that's what they believe in. People like that. People like that completely demean themselves and just eat shit out of someone's ass in order to achieve whatever they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know. It just seems a little. I get what he's trying to say, and that he's like, we can't just like forget the shit that happened, but it's also like, let's focus on other things, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess
mean,
if he's also saying it includes other people too, not just specifically him.
It's like just people like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird.
I'm surprised
to me.
that there isn't a song about fucking Ted Cruz on here too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean that'd be more relevant than Pence. You know what I mean?
I think it's mainly because like Pence was just like supposed to be Trump's right hand man. I'm surprised there wasn't a song that's like.
Even though at the end they fell.
Yeah,
out
they
of love.
basically betrayed each other.
Yeah,
or he betrayed Trump in a way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that this album is a really complete album.
How many songs long?
12 songs.
Okay.
2 of them are instrumentals.
Okay. Like short interludes or
short?
just...
Yeah, very very short interludes.
So
like
it's probably a pretty short album, huh?
Yeah, it's only It's actually 46 minutes.
Shorter.
Yeah, shorter album, but it's really good. I think you should listen through it all the way through. It's okay if you skip 20s, in my opinion.
Yeah,
It's
I might peek through it a little bit.
It's just I don't know. It just kind of weighs really heavy on me. It's just kind of like I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a very like I don't know, in my head very chintzy, just very like this is a very easy song to make.
Yeah.
You could write this song in fucking 5 minutes.
And they probably did.
Yeah, and it was like this really could have been its own little single and just kind of kept out of there.
Yeah, I'm still not a Ghost fan, but they've grown on me more in recent weeks.
And we started listening to some of their first albums. It's kind of insane that their first album was so like very like easy. Like their riffs, their guitar,
which you
everything
said was like on purpose.
On purpose, but like it's insane to listen to this album and then go listen to their first album. It technologically is just completely different. Like arrangements and just it's
Like the first stuff was more stripped down rock.
yeah,
you know
exactly.
What
That's what I
mean?
mean. It's very stripped down, and this is very like we have all of the money and
Yeah.
we have all of the pedals now,
Yeah.
whereas we can
Yeah.
switch them like crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that they did a really good job with this, and just keep listening to it. So
Yeah, well, maybe I'll have to check it out since they've grown on me more. So the way I found out about this band, and again, I don't know enough about them to talk too much about them, but the way I found out about them is kind of funny because I had never heard of them. But I guess I'd seen them on like a festival lineup, but I never heard of them prior to this, which is funny because they're what I don't know exactly what they would like to identify as a band, but I would say they're hardcore. And it's funny because I never heard of them because they're a hardcore band. And the way I found out is that Tim Heidecker, don't know if you have ever heard of him. I work for his show.
shut the fuck
I
up.
work for his show, Office
Shut up.
Hours.
Shut up.
You guys should check
Shut
it
up.
out. Streams live every
Shut up.
Thursday at 10 a.m.
Shut up.
Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern
Shut
time.
up.
Anyways, I work for that show. Don't know if you know. So we recently had on an artist by the name of Sasami, who I guess I don't know enough about her to really describe her music, but it was kind of like, I guess you call it kind of indie rock, but then recently she got really into metal, and so this more recent album's kind of like a metal album where she actually had a metal.
So almost like the opposite of last week's band, where it was like they started out metal and now they're making
Yeah, pretty much opposite. And I haven't listened to her new album, which I need to, because apparently it's really good.
allegedly.
Allegedly or whatever. So she is on tour with her new album, and Tim is in.
What's the name of it? I'm sorry.
The
What?
name of her?
Yeah.
Sasami. I believe S. Maybe.
there it is.
Yeah.
Sasami.
Yeah. So, Tim just happened to be in either North or South Carolina, working on something at the same time she was on tour there, and went and saw her. And one of the opening bands was this band, Zulu, and they are an all black hardcore band, which is something you don't see very often, which I think is really cool because that's kind of like, definitely feeds into their message and narrative a lot.
Sorry to digress for 1 second, but do you remember ever having or hearing about like that one really young all black metal band? They were like really young. I just remember hearing about them a lot. They were like, it was kind of crazy that they were so into metal. I just remember watching. I'll have to find it anyway.
So they were one of the opening bands. I don't know if they're the opening band. but
Zulu?
Zulu.
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 Is that the band you're recommending?
Yes, I'm gonna recommend a song here in a second. But so he saw them and like posted a video on his story of like just this like crazy hardcore band and like people moshing like in a small venue, and I was like, whoa, no way, holy shit, because Tim is like not into hardcore at all, not into that kind of music. So I knew why he was there, but I thought he was just posting it because he's like, I'm never at these kinds of things, so I want to show people, just as kind of like a funny, jokey thing. But then he just like kept posting about it and like made an actual post on his account, like saying how great Zulu was and like said that they were awesome. And he mentioned it on his Patreon blog post and everything. And he even wore a Zulu shirt on the South by Southwest red carpet for this movie that he did last year that's just coming out now. So I was like, wow, that's crazy because like they're super hardcore, but again, their message is really cool. And like they're I believe everybody in the band is black. And yeah, they just fucking rip. And the one thing I will say the one bad thing I can say about their songs is that they're too short. They're so short. So the song I'm recommending is from 2020. It's called, Straight from the Tribe of the Moon. Only 1 minute and 11 seconds long. And like that's the majority of their songs are that short. So that's my only complaint. Otherwise, if they were longer songs, like this would be one of my favorite bands. Not that they're not amazing, but still, just wish their songs were longer. Really fucking good. Just funny how I found out about them. That thing stopped recording again, which is annoying. So once again, camera. Otherwise, oh well. End of the show. Our Batman stuff got recorded on there. So, Batman. Yeah, that's what I'm recommending. And if you want to play the outro music out loud, so the camera can hear it, and play it kind of quiet because otherwise it'll play over pretty voices. Well, I think that about does it. You want to give a little outro?
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 54. And keep watching, keep listening, keep sharing, keep doing whatever you need to do. And we'll be here talking more on the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you around.
Goodbye.